What's going on, everybody? It's Monday. Mike and Wendy. Welcome to the Mayor Shop, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are back. It is Labor Day, so some of you might be at a cookout right now. Go ahead and just pull us up on the TV. I mean, I'm saying it's pretty nice here in Evans. It's a little humid, but we got a little bit of relief from some of our heat. But I heard somebody say the other day that if you live in Georgia, you know that this cool air is not staying. So be prepared for a few more weeks of summer. Just saying.
I was fooled. It got cool. You know, we had a couple of brisk nights. I'm like, oh yeah, come on, the fall is coming. But act like we haven't been here for nearly a decade now.
Yes.
Hey, it's whatever. But it is Labor Day, and it was a good college football weekend. And opening night of NFL season is coming up on Thursday. Cowboys are playing the Bucks. It's somebody about to get smashed.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
That's
somebody.
Something. So the Patriots used to be my backup team, but we have this ongoing discussion about whether or not you can actually have a backup team. But when the Patriots were my backup team, Tom Brady was the quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on Thursday. Just saying.
First of all, this whole backup team foolishness, people, stop it. If you're among these people, and I recognize there's something about people who perhaps, I don't want to be disparaging, but like DC folks in particular have backup teams. Now I get it.
Oh,
right.
You're trying to be funny.
I get it because I mean it's rough living up there if football is your thing, but you don't get a backup team. That's all I'm saying. No backup teams.
Yeah.
Somebody's with me on that. Y'all hit me up. You know, just put no backups in the chat.
Yeah. So, hey, Bob, glad you and Gwen could be with us tonight. And Anna Reeves, thanks for dropping in, being one of the first ones. Antoinette Brunson, thanks for joining us tonight. We're excited to come and have a chat with you guys every week. So last week I guess I did most of the talking, and I was speaking specifically to the women, to the ladies out there about what the wife's number one job is and what your priorities are. And we had some nice discussion around submission and respecting your husband. So if you missed that one, you might want to just, after this, hit the replay and take a look at that. And husbands, if you were intrigued by what we talked about last week, you can just hit replay twice. And go back a couple of weeks ago because Mike started this thing off when he was talking about the husband's number one job.
Yeah, like husband's number one job, love your wife, right? Yeah, I kept asking the question, what's your job, man? And so we got to do our job. And so 2 weeks ago, we talked about what that is and how that is and how to do it in the way that is necessary. It can be challenging, right? But the challenge is irrelevant. That's the job. And so just check that out. So the last couple of weeks, it's what we call, those periods of tough love that we gotta deliver, because this is the marriage shop. And that's what we're talking about, really. We're talking about how to have a marriage that stays connected, right? A marriage that you feel some joy in, a marriage where you're getting what you need, right? You're serving God and each other, and you're receiving as well. And so, yeah, I mean, so everything can't be all fun, but it's all necessary, right? And so that's why we did it, right? And that's why we continue to do it. But this week, we're going to give y'all a little bit of a break.
A little bit of a break. I mean, you got to have the right mix of, I guess, was fun or kind of light mixed in with a little bit of the heavy, right? Yeah. So a little bit of heavy, a little bit of light.
Yeah.
And
this week is definitely light.
Yeah, it's definitely light. Right. I mean, something that we love to talk about, and perhaps you'll learn a little bit more about us, and we'll learn a little bit more about you. So you see us rocking our jerseys tonight. We are the official fans of the teams that we are repping tonight.
Yeah, actually, let me move that banner. Get that banner down. Get that banner down. So y'all can see this. I went old school tonight for you all because Cowboys. That's why. Emmitt Smith, my man. Emmitt Smith is married from a young lady who grew up in Cavalier Manor, which is the neighborhood I grew up in Portsmouth, Virginia. So there you go.
You said married from a lady.
No, he's married to a.
Oh.
Anyway, he's married to a lady. To a young lady from Portsmouth. Anyway,
yeah,
whatever. But hey,
that's good.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, not old school over here. So what?
More like
this is new
broke school. But we gotta go see. But nevertheless, we gotta go see the Raiders play in their brand new.
You
stadium.
forgot my team.
I had to look. I don't like the what are they again?
The Raiders.
Whatever. They're not the Cowboys. So anyway.
Yeah.
But so anyway, football season. So if you have a football team, drop it in the chat if you like. And I would just like to say,
yes, people
Nicolette said, do people still care? Are you kidding?
yeah.
I think the numbers would say yes.
That's so funny.
But listen, if you have a team, drop it in the chat. If you are a Clemson fan, man, I'm sorry. That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
That was ugly. Yeah. So it'll be all right though. If you're a Georgia fan, calm down. You know how it goes. So let's not get full of yourself too soon. Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Georgia, you know how this goes. Bulldogs, Falcons, everybody slow down. Nicolette DeRamus, stop it.
Yeah.
With no time. I mean, what do we say? They're the only team that played with perfection this weekend.
I don't know, but what you're saying is kind of like, I'll come back to that in just a second, but it's kind of like being a Cowboys fan.
No, the difference is this. And here's the difference, right? And I'm gonna help all y'all out. And this is the last time I'm gonna address this, okay? Like you hear Cowboy fans say things like, yeah, I think we're going to win it all this year.
Right.
Why? Because we're obligated to do so, right? But when it goes south, it's just we take it on the chin. It's like, it's okay, right? And that's all, and we move on with our lives, right? But other teams that will remain unnamed that have been named already, like it's crazy. It's a thing. First, they celebrate too early. And then when it goes bad, they do not lose well. You got to learn how to, I mean, nobody likes to lose, but man, when you lose, calm down, people. As a matter of fact, they don't know how to win well. It's another story. I digress. This is not a sports program.
Hey,
I got to talk to Prentice Gilbert and Big Drake and see what they got with our Made Man Radio. But
yeah. So that's
anyway.
Funny. Atlanta United.
Hey, I'm about to be a Atlanta United. I'm about to hit some of those games if I can get in.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Anyway. But yeah, about Alabama, you're right. I mean, they are consistent. That's Nick Saban, right? Yeah, consistent.
I mean, they're consistent. I mean, the coach is good, and they have they have a big old, like, I don't know. They put every college student, 5-star athlete in the country in the stadium, and they're like, you. Everybody else go home. I mean, they have the pick of the best in the country every single year. So
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Anyway. And our intern is a big Alabama fan, or she's a Tua fan specifically, but she's a big Alabama fan. So shouts out to all you Alabama fans.
Listen, you know what? Don't get me started. Hey, but Tua's brother played a great game.
Yeah, he did.
For Maryland on, but we're not talking sports. But he did. His brother plays for Maryland. Mm-hmm. Dude was balling actually. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what it is they feed him in that house.
Yeah.
But man, he was working it out.
That's funny. Yeah. That's funny. So Nicolette is saying, hey, if you go with the tide, then you're gonna win. Basically, there's no up and down.
Don't get me started.
Hearts breaking.
Where are you from, Nicolette? That's what I want to know. Don't tell me you from Madison, Wisconsin or something.
That is funny.
From I don't know, like Los Angeles, and now you Alabama fan.
Yeah. Well, that's
the bandwagon is large, but I'm not saying you on the bandwagon. I'm just saying they have a big one. That's another story. But it's what's on television. So sports is back now. Might we have like a major crazy outbreak of COVID-19 after the next couple of weeks? Probably.
Yeah.
But it would be the most entertaining outbreak.
That's funny.
That's probably wrong to say. But I'm just saying, sports, right? So last year we watched television and there were empty stadiums and all that, and there was like crowd noise piped in. It was just a weird time,
right? That's what I was gonna say. Sports are back, but the fans are back. I mean, and I think even with the Olympics, what we got to witness was sports going forward, but with limited fans, right, or no fans, and so the fans are back, and the fans are showing up. I mean,
the fans are crazy.
Yes.
Listen, if you are a fan, calm down. Justin Smith, what's up, man? Good to see you. So hopefully you can get back on for the replay.
Yep.
But or maybe before we're done tonight. But yeah, if you're one of those crazy sports fans, calm down, right? It is a game, right? It's just it's a game, so relax.
Yeah. That's funny. She's from Hokie Land.
Oh, that's okay. So you're like Central Virginia-ish, like Virginia Tech. Yeah. So beautiful campus, by the way.
Yeah, we know a Hokie or two.
Yeah, we do. I was almost Hokie. That's another story.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get on with it, because before sports really kind of kicked back in, we had to do something. Now, those of you who are highly enlightened, like you wrote books, you read books, you got out, you walked, and wrote poetry and all this stuff, right?
Planted gardens,
made
home repairs,
building stuff.
Yeah.
And then there were some of us who did a little bit of that and a whole lot of watching TV. That's
Yeah, man. So one of the things, even when we were talking about this, is I happen to love football. I grew up watching football. I did grow up watching the Redskins, although I'm not a Redskins fan. My mother was a diehard Redskins fan. My aunt Lolita is a diehard Redskins fan. Most of my family are Redskins fans. But not me. I'm a Raiders fan. I've been a Raiders fan since I was a little girl. And that is primarily due to my cousin Keith. And it was like a fraternity. He kind of beat me into it. And so I will claim that. But it was one of the things that I think you could appreciate about me, or I could appreciate about you.
Are you kidding? I love Keith for that. I mean, and I don't even know if I really knew that he was totally responsible, even though in retrospect, I do remember that. But wow, because, I told y'all I prayed for Wendy, right? And I said, hey, God, whoever she is, I'll say yes, right? I think I put it in a book. Y'all picked that up. So, so he sent her, and football wasn't on my mind when I was thinking about the right, the woman who's going to be for me. But not only did God send me a woman who appreciates football, but he sent me a woman who grew up in DC who appreciates football, who is not a Redskins fan. That may have been a deal breaker. That might have just blown up the whole thing.
It might have. I mean, who can say?
And okay, so Atlanta, like Falcons fans, a little edgy, right? Just too much, right? Redskins fans, disrespectful.
Yeah.
Just disrespect for no reason at all. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I won't even go into it, but she's a Raiders fan. What? I have no mandatory requirement to like hate on Raiders fans.
Yeah.
Right? We meet every couple of years. It's what it is, and it's all good.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. So one of the things about it, right, is I don't just like to wear the colors or just like the team, because there's some people that say, oh yeah, I'm kind of a fan, or I'm a fan of a player, but they don't really know the game, right? Or they don't really enjoy watching it. I mean, the truth is, I don't know that we these days watch a game from start to finish. I mean, I was the one that said we have to get red zone.
That's true. But she said that. It's like, you would think, oh, wow, yay, red zone. Wendy wants red zone because it is what she said she wanted like 20 years ago. Right? She wants to be able to watch like just a snippet of the game, like just the most exciting part. Pull the meat out, dump the rest. Yeah. I don't need the build up. Just show me the play. And red zone was born.
I mean, because I don't necessarily have to get into the whole 30 by 30 on every player every time they make a play and hear about
I love it. I love
how they started up.
I love the background.
And going through, how they broke their leg when they were 7 and recovered and then became this player and then it's the next player. I don't necessarily need to hear all that. I just need to know that they're in scoring distance and it's down to the wire. That's the best part of the game for me, and I enjoy it. So anyway, but we're not just talking about football tonight. We're talking about really kind of enjoying what your spouse likes to watch, right? Or maybe you don't like to watch sports TV at all. This is actually inspired by my father-in-law. A little bit. We saw him recently, and he was talking about
TV and people. A lot of people who have a lot of screens in the home, right? A lot of televisions.
Yep.
And when it comes time to watch something, they will actually go in separate ways. But I gotta pick up on this.
Yeah.
She said she married a Bama man, Roll Tide, 19 years. I drive the wagon. She drives the bandwagon. That's hilarious. But she said, Nicolette said she gets upset, Kevin. See, Nicolette, you're one of the people I'm talking about, right? It's a little serious, right?
Yeah.
Let the man wear orange,
It's all good.
It could be Syracuse orange or something.
Yeah, well, we understand that. And Antoinette Brunson, hey, welcome. There's a lot to learn about the game. And guess what? They change the rules every year. So you might just be able to catch up with everybody.
Some of those rules, by the way, are garbage because that was a catch. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness. So if you know, you know. But
it was catch. Y'all know it's catch.
Nabiha Jeffries, glad you dropped into the marriage shop tonight.
Nabiha?
I have been seeing your feed, and you are not disappointing. She said we're gonna get tired of her posting about Alabama and football.
Nicolette,
yes,
meet Nabiha Jeffries.
Yes. So I'm glad you guys.
KC, it was a catch. Don't get me started. I'm sorry, y'all. It was a catch.
Yeah.
All day. It's like he grabbed, he leaned, step, fall, roll. It was a catch.
Goodness. This is Des
all
Bryant,
day.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Des Bryant. Just
former Cowboy.
If you don't know, Google Des Bryant. It was a catch, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right. So we're not talking about football, contrary to what it sounds like tonight. We're actually talking about binge watching, right? Which is a thing. And it became more of a thing, I think, during COVID, which is what you were getting at, right?
Yep. It was a catch, Casey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Many of us found ourselves, all of us found ourselves at home, right? But many of us found ourselves at home with very little to do, no outlet, no way to escape. And some of us resorted to binge watching, which is a thing. I think they probably even added binge watching to the dictionary. So it is a thing. What does it mean to binge watch? It means that you can premeditate your watching, or you could just find yourselves locked. You sit down and you say you're going to watch one episode of something, and then the next thing you know, you've watched 10 or the whole season. We want you to drop in the chat what was your favorite program to binge watch if you're a binge watcher over the past year or 2 years.
Yeah.
Drop that in the comments.
And I vowed I will not get caught up in this foolishness, right? I'm like, I'm not watching. What are you talking about? You've been watching what? For how many days straight? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Listen, those people know what they're doing. Oh my goodness. Right? The word is out. Netflix, Hulu, everybody, if you're making films now, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to get caught up. Even me. So there it is.
That's funny.
And with COVID, right? It's like how much, because early on, and Wendy will tell you, I was like, okay, I gotta create. I gotta create something, I gotta do something, right? When you're going literally like nowhere except like running to the store with armor on. It's like, you get a point where you're like, hey, I got to take a break now, right? And so Wendy, she'd be watching something, and I'm like, what's that? And Wendy will pause, and she'll break it all down for you.
I sure will.
So
take you back to the beginning.
I don't know about that. I mean, I'll watch 5 minutes of that with you. Like now, then it's like midnight. It's like, what is going on? Like we got to go to bed, and you cannot. All right, one more episode, and y'all know the little bar is like next episode. It's not even a question actually. Next episode.
You got to turn it off before the countdown, or you will be captive for the next episode. So I see you dropping some stuff in there. Outer Banks, Virgin River, Avatar, Good Fight,
Longmire.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Did that say what I think it says?
Columbo. Yes, you gotta love those old detective shows.
Gerald, what is going on?
Yes. Love it. Yeah, and The Good Doctor. Yeah, saw a recent episode of that. So those are some good ones. Yeah, so, yeah. Bob Be Young and smart.
Virgin River. Glenn picked it, so we watched it, which is part of what we're kind of getting at tonight, right? Because preferences can differ, right?
Yeah.
And two people, you've been, especially now with all these infinite possibilities, there's all kind of stuff out there. Yeah. And so you don't even know a lot of times that your preference is towards something until you're watching it.
That's true. And so one of the things I think KC dropped in there where he said you got to find what you want to watch together. And that's easier said than done in some households, right? Just like sometimes you're a fan of a certain football team and it just, as people would describe it, a house divided, right? We just have to agree to disagree when it comes to this thing. And that's how some people are about what they watch. So I'll tell you that one of us really gets into sitcoms and romantic comedies and movies about real life stories and documentaries. One of us really loves like graphic violence and sci-fi and blow everybody up and start shooting them from the very beginning. Just saying. So there are things that we watch together, and then there are things that we suffer through because the other person wants to watch it.
Yeah. So or things that like if I'm out in the office for a few hours, we would go and binge out on something.
Yes.
Something
that you don't want to watch.
Like like Wendy likes, and there's a lot more access to them now, right? These foreign, I was gonna say foreign language films, they're foreign films, but with like English. Like over subtitles or they'll dub they'll what do you call it? You know what I'm saying? They're voiceover, right? And so you walk in and it's just like, and it's not even good voiceover. It's just horrible. It's like
it's bad.
Voices don't match. It's crazy. But yeah, Wendy loves.
Yeah, well, it's a good storyline. I'm also somebody who grew up watching old Chinese movies where they would fight. Love those. And that's what it was. It was really bad voiceovers. So it just extended. I mean, admittedly. So, in terms of what we love to watch or what we watch or how we end up watching some things together. I mean, if you get into a disagreement or you come to, come to blows, if you get into major arguments over what you're watching, then we want you to just kind of take a breath, right? At least try to identify something that you can watch together. If you can you find some common ground? Have a discussion about it. Be willing to at least watch one episode or 15 minutes of something that maybe you thought you might not want to watch.
First of all, gotta shout out Gerald Wilson. Yeah. Saw you popped in.
Yeah.
Columbo, Gerald Wilson. Columbo, okay, that's cool. So, but yeah, I mean, some things right? The test has been done. You've kind of suffered through, and you're just like, I can't watch that, right? I would say what Wendy for me, what she just suggested is better for something. When I look at it, like, well, that's weird. Why would you watch that? And then maybe I'll check out a few minutes of that. But this year there was all kind of garbage that I would have never, ever, ever even paused to watch.
Last year.
There's last year, this year, even last year, but over the last 18 months or whatever it was.
Yes.
There's all kind of stuff. Like, for example, The Floor is Lava. Y'all remember when that blew up? Why did that blow up? Somebody tell me why The Floor is Lava blew up. But tell me why I watched episode after episode, right?
Yeah.
It's strange. I don't know. I watched it.
Yeah.
Guilty. Don't judge me.
Yeah.
Because some of y'all are watching Columbo, so stop. Don't judge me.
That's so funny.
And so, I mean,
yeah.
What else? What's another one?
No, well, I wanted to. I see where Bob says Gwen and I have separate remote controls that keep show selection and control interesting. That's pretty interesting.
That is very interesting.
Whoever's the quick draw on the remote. I love
that. And most of y'all, if you don't have separate remotes, you can like do a remote app on your phone most likely. Yeah. So you just drop in and take over if you wanna.
That's so funny.
That should that should contribute to the oneness.
Or turn the TV off. But Casey says husbands know they have to take one for the team more times than not. But he also said that sometimes you may have to go to different rooms to watch what you want to watch, which is what some people end up doing, or watching on other devices. And so, again, we want to make this light, right? We don't want to get too much into how different it is, but some of the shows that we ended up watching, like Mike said, we would have never watched. So The Floor is Lava is apparently a game that a lot of people grew up playing. I mean, we used to play, what was it, like Sharks and Minnows, or it was like Sharks or something, and you were climbing all over the furniture, but never played The Floor is Lava.
All we did was somebody lay on the couch, somebody take the couch, flip it over. That was game, didn't have a title. Try to stay in the couch. Maybe you call it that, right? Yeah. So that happened, Ma. Sorry.
Two of my favorite shows. Well, I say two of my favorites. So I blame Sydney for one of these. That was Ultimate Tag.
That's another one.
JJ Watt and his
JJ Watt and his brothers is like, well, we're not playing football. We might as well do this.
Ultimate Tag was crazy.
Let's play some tag. I mean, it was corny as, I don't know. It was, I don't even know. I mean, but, hey,
Ultimate Tag was good.
Put in the chat something that you watched that you would have never watched.
That's good.
Were it not for this COVID thing. And matter of fact, I saw Nicolette earlier. She had Naked and Afraid up in there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another one of those ones I'm like, I ain't watching this garbage. There's something about people being out in the woods, totally naked, getting bitten by bugs all through the night, and like drinking water and getting dysentery. It's like, I can't turn away. Next episode. It was weird.
Yes.
That
and then they had Naked and Afraid XL. Then they had, now it's like Naked and Afraid and something else. And it's just, I mean, what they do is they take one thing, it becomes popular, and then it just morphs and grows and goes under different names.
Yeah.
But we continue to watch, right? When reality TV became a thing, it captivated many of us. I think Big Brother was one of the first ones that was on reality TV. So it's Big Brother that comes to mind, Survivor that comes to mind, Amazing Race that comes to mind, all those things. Then The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and all of those shows that kind of just bring you in, and it's like, okay, I just have to know what happens. And I think that this is real, or at least it's real enough, right? We know that reality TV really isn't reality, but it's fun to watch. So just saying,
it can be fun to watch.
But I was saying the Ultimate Tag and the Titan game. So the Titan games was The Rock, and that was pretty strong. Actually. Yeah.
Oh, no pun intended. Anyway, but so that was crazy.
Yeah. So what, did you see something?
No, I was looking at the comments down here, but Titan games was good. I mean, that one I may have watched. Let's see, Outer Banks. Somebody mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
I don't know if I would watch Outer Banks. Because where I grew up, I was kind of curious as to how they captured it. So, we did caught that, and I thought, okay, I'll just watch this and see what they're talking about, what they represent. Do they represent it accurately?
Did they?
What? I mean, it was good, and now I'm waiting on season 2.
It's out.
I know. I was waiting on season 2. Yeah. So now I'm waiting because I don't. The girls want to like sync up on that. But Outer Banks. I never who would have thought.
Yeah. Now there was a show. This Is Us. Now, interestingly enough, neither one of us really watched This Is Us, but our daughter Sydney did, and Sydney kind of begged us to watch This Is Us, and we just kind of, did the Heisman on that one.
Yeah, we did. And after you get about 20 seasons behind, it's like, I
can't watch it, but we heard good things about it. So we can continue to go down the list. So our daughter, since I mentioned Sydney wanted us to watch This Is Us, Morgan had us watching the British baking show. Is it the Great British Baking Show or just the British Baking Show?
I don't know, but come on. I mean, it was... I mean, that's one the fan was there and I suffered through it, and I didn't really, and this is a show where, I mean, does this sound, I don't know, does this sound American? But there's no check at the end, right? At the end, the winner gets a handshake. These are people out cooking cakes in a tent somewhere in the woods in the UK.
Yeah.
You get a handshake.
Well, it's for bragging rights, right? And a lot of these shows, I'm sorry, it's like hot. Did you turn that down or turned it up? I saw you like
I was
secretly turn.
Oh, you saw that?
Yes. Were you making it cooler or warmer?
I was making it cooler, attempting.
So anyway. Like we burning up down here in Evans. Okay.
Anyway, the British Baking Show. Like,
yes,
I watched it, but I got to be honest. Every now and then, I'm like, I wonder what's gonna happen.
Yes, is that person gonna win? You want to see people's stuff, like, because it's like, oh no, it didn't cook long enough, or all of these different tips and tricks, like cooling it off fast by sticking it in the freezer. They had all kinds of stuff going on, and so we found ourselves watching things that we normally wouldn't watch. I see that Jessica dropped in there Queen Sugar. So aside from the shows and the series, some people really kind of binge watching movies. There are a lot of different movies. It's like, okay, Friday night is going to be date night and it's going to be movie night. And we'll just kind of watch all of these movies that we hadn't watched. And what we did with our girls was we watched movies that they had not seen, like School Days.
Don't judge us.
Coming to America.
Coming to America. School Days. Although, yeah, we did. It's like, what? You haven't seen? Okay, we got to, come on, let's go.
Yeah, so, we broke out.
New Jack City, I think, was on that list.
Oh, man, yeah. And now that they're older, it was all things that they couldn't watch or we wouldn't let them watch when they were younger. But yeah, we got in a couple of old movies. And I think that's kind of what is fun about these streaming services, right? It's not just the new stuff, but they have like the old stuff. I mean, you're out there watching Columbo. It doesn't get much older than that. I mean, you might be watching the Andy Griffith Show or Murder, She Wrote or... what?
Matlock
or Perry Mason. Any of those shows. I mean, yes, we watch those too. It's
yeah. What we there was something else. No. Well, we're talking about the absence of sports.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah.
And so we found ourselves watching things that are not your typical cornhole tournaments.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a cornhole tournament, I'm like, okay, this is craziness. Zero chance I'm watching this garbage. Like, the world is coming to an end tomorrow. There's cornhole tournaments. Apparently people are getting paid, right?
Lots of money to play cornhole.
Next thing you know, I know a few little cornhole terms, right? Yes. And you're watching, and these dudes, I mean, just not athletic. Just not. I mean, among the most, no offense if you're a cornhole player, I'm speaking truth. But I'm just saying, it's just like this cat. I mean, he's sitting there with a beer in his hand and a cornhole thing. And
that was his thing. Yeah.
I mean, wow. But it was interesting. And then we went up to this cabin and played cornhole. Wendy, who'd been watching cornhole like a fiend, she smoked me a cornhole.
I smoked everybody at cornhole.
She did.
Just saying. But the thing about cornhole is, I mean, like you said, there was airmail, there was 2 different sides to the bag, one that slides, one that sticks. I mean, it was all kinds of stuff that they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, it does take some degree of coordination, I will admit.
It does. And strategy. Yeah. So I'm a sports fan, but I think I really like competition. And so in addition to sports competitions, I enjoy a good game show. And so we watch a lot of game shows, and I can watch 1 or 2. I don't necessarily binge game shows, but like the British Baking Show, it's kind of a game show. It's a competition of sorts. There was something else. Trying to think that I watched recently. It was Glow Up. Yes, Morgan and I watched Glow Up. That was another show where they were competing. Things like that. Face Off. That was one that I watched a long time ago. Yeah. Those types of shows I can get into because it's a competition.
Yeah, I could not get into that. I could not I could not lock in.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm like, okay, y'all got it. Ooh, mommy daughter time. Love it. I'll be over here most of the time.
Yeah. So we watched all of those things, but we also watched Bridgerton. So I don't know. Nobody mentioned Bridgerton here, but we watched Bridgerton. So, the thing is, you may not even watch the shows, but somebody you're connected to might drop something in there that says, hey, you need to watch this, or this is fire, or whatever, or there are articles about it. And there was so much buzz around Bridgerton in the last year. So we were like, okay, I mean, who really gets down with watching that time period and know that Man, I think we watched Bridgerton like in 3 days. We watched the whole series.
I will yeah, no comment.
And then you were making recommendations. Yeah, that's so funny. I think you have told a couple people that's something they should watch, because you have people that call you to say, "Hey, what should I watch next?" Just saying, that's true, right?
Something like that. Okay, I cannot tell a lie. I'm like, what? Dude ain't coming back for season 2. I hate it. They got me. What can I tell you?
Yeah, it was a good one. But Bridgerton, that was unexpected. It was a good one. But and so now a couple of things that we're watching now. So this is in no way are we endorsing any network, any streaming service, or any shows in particular. We're all over the place.
Wait a minute.
What?
I know. Before the whole disclaimer, it's funny. But no, there was a show, and some of you, I don't know the title. Some of y'all might know it, but it's the show with all these different sports from different countries.
Oh yeah.
And so there was a lot of things that they did, but one of them was the cheese roll. Wherever that happens, I don't know where that happens. There's a hill somewhere, and they make a special big old wheel of cheese, and they roll cheese down the hill, and people chase cheese down the hill. It was
something Champions, wasn't it?
I don't know. Yeah. Somebody knows.
Somebody knows.
They chase cheese down the hill and people break legs and dislocate elbow. It's crazy. And I could not turn away. And then they do it in slow mo. It is fascinating. I love that one.
Yeah. So well, speaking of sports, the other things that I like to watch, and this was pre-pandemic, is I like to watch PBR. For those of you that don't know what PBR is, it's not Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Even though it's close.
Professional bull riding. I love to watch PBR, and I also like to watch MMA.
Wendy, first of all, okay, let's unpack these one at a time, right? The PBR thing. Wendy can actually doggone near score a bull ride. If you didn't know, let me help you out.
Why you put me out there like that? That is so funny.
Casey's right. Netflix show, we'll watch anything. True. It was kind of like when MTV came out back in the day. Mm-hmm. Watching all kind of videos and stuff, right? But Wendy will score a bull ride. So a bull, you have to ride it for 8 seconds to get credit. Don't ride it for 8 seconds, you get nothing. If you ride it for 8, you get a score. And Wendy will can doggone near gauge and score a bull ride. Yeah, that was garbage. Oh, that was a good one. What?
Or if it gets a reride.
If it gets a reride, did you know they got a reride if their bull was basically sorry or whatever?
Oh my goodness.
That is crazy. But she's been watching that for a good number of years.
A number of years.
We actually, when we were in Texas, we actually went to a rodeo, did we not? In Houston.
We did.
Hey, y'all. Let me tell you something. If you have never been to a rodeo live, you gotta go.
You should go.
If there's bulls jumping around, there's kids chasing lambs.
We went to the rodeo here.
It's out of control. Huh?
We went to the rodeo here.
We sure did over
the
fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So look, I'm just saying, yeah, you should do that. But then MMA. Wendy's been watching MMA since since they started really airing it. If you know names like Kimbo Slice, Uriah Faber. Right, that guy who looked like Seal. Cool. Who is that dude?
Anderson Silva.
Yeah, MMA. Right. So there was one time we had some people over at the house in Maryland, and they didn't really watch MMA, and so Wendy was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch this match," and cool, right? And these folks, I'm talking, they probably, what the most extreme thing they watched was probably tennis or something, right? So this particular match, whoever. I think it was Kimbo Slice and some guy who got his ear swole up. It was his ear.
Cauliflower ear is a common injury for MMA fighters.
Yeah. But it was this one was actually filled up with blood. It was and so he must have had some type of contusion.
Yeah.
And Kimbo Slice hit that dude on the ear. It looked like his head blew up, and those people were just like, the horror. Oh, the violence. Man, Wendy be watching MMA in the middle of the night. It was crazy. I'm like, Wendy, we got to go to bed now. You can't be up here getting all amped up for MMA. So
that is so
there was a lot of MMA watching over the
Yeah, but again, I kind of grew up watching boxing, right? So my parents both really enjoyed watching professional boxing, and so I think it just made sense. And I think my interest in it was kind of birthed at a very young age, just like football, which is true for a lot of your kids today and ours. Both of our girls are Cowboys fans, for example.
Yes.
So Nicolette says bull riding is fire. And Casey said they don't know what they're missing. Bull riding is the joint. Yes, I agree. He said I'm gonna have to go to an urban rodeo. Man, the rodeo we went to in Houston had Patti LaBelle. No, it wasn't Patti LaBelle. It was Gladys Knight was singing. So I mean,
which messed me up, by the way. I'd never. What? Yeah, okay, there's a rodeo. Like Gladys Knight is singing like at the rodeo. It's a whole
concert after the rodeo.
They do it different in Texas, y'all.
Yeah,
Trust.
yeah. And then Internet Brunson says they have a few barrel racing at Aiken this weekend.
Oh, hey, barrel racing is like y'all know barrel racing is like the horse. It's like a horse sprinter basically, like with a person on the back running around.
That is so funny. Me too, Nicolette. Me too. I agree. So. So some of the things that we're watching right now that so here's the thing. I don't always I can sit down, we can binge from time to time, but we don't just binge like every night. We're not every day, every night TV watchers. We usually consume news more frequently. But when we do decide to binge, we binge. Yeah. And so we're watching a couple of things right now based on some recommendations that we had seen. And I mean, it's some good stuff out there.
There's some good stuff out there. Oh, so I know she didn't mention curling.
Oh yeah, you mentioned curling.
So that's another one of those things. I mean, y'all know curling's been around forever, but
yeah,
you know, when you have time on your hands, sometimes you just look a little bit closer. But Wendy takes it to the next level, right? Wendy, not having opened a curling book, Wendy be coming up with rules. I'm like, so what are we trying to do right here, right? Rules, strategy, the whole 9 yards. I would give her about a good 75% accuracy on like just figuring it out. Because a lot of times you watch stuff, you can figure it out. But curling is kind of a different animal.
I enjoy curling.
I mean, it's big rocks, small rocks.
It's just so much happening. You know, everybody has their role. They have to play their part. And, you know, the outcome is dependent on everybody doing what they're supposed to do, what they're trained to do. I mean, and it's so smooth. When they get down on the knee and just kind of let it go. And it's just like.
Well, you know, it's smooth. It's like that one person. Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate real fast. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Something like that, but much slower and smoother, right? And then for a little while, it's all smooth, and they're just, you know. Then all of a sudden, the shouting starts, and then it's like, and then it's over.
And then it's over. Oh my goodness, curling is something else. But anyway, so yeah, we enjoy watching some things we enjoy watching together. Some things it's just like all right. There are a lot of things. Interestingly, Mike will watch a series like Queen of the South, for example. I think he watched that whole series on his own, but I was listening. So I could hear it from the bedroom, and I could tell you probably every character, the relationship of the characters, some of the storyline.
Which too is strange and wonderful at the same time.
So I'll come in and ask about it. Is that so-and-so to so-and-so? And well, what happened? And he's just like... How do you know? Yeah. Yes. So, look, wait, this is so off topic. But when did y'all get new chairs?
So attentive, Navia Jeffries.
Yes.
So attentive. Yeah.
That's a new purchase. But thanks for noticing, and they're comfortable. They are comfortable. I think you'll like them.
Much more comfortable. Yeah.
Yes. So what we're watching right now. So we just watched. We binge watched. Clickbait. So if you haven't seen Clickbait, it's on Netflix right now. And that one just kind of has you guessing the whole time. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. You all may, if anybody else is watching Clickbait right now, you could drop that in the comments. But yeah, Clickbait, that was unexpected. That was a good one. So we're like critics now. You give that, we get 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, that was because you think you know.
You think you know.
And then you don't. And then you still they actually I'm mad that they did such a great job of misdirecting me.
Yeah, they did a good job. So another one of those shows like Queen of the South that Mike watched on his own, but I kind of knew what was happening is Manifest.
look, Manifest is. I don't even know how Wendy is not watching this. I saw somebody put it up there earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That is, it's weird. You know, shows that deal with time and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they get a little frustrating because, you know, as things happen and trying to keep track of all that, which is intentional, right? But man, something about Manifest, because they made it. You know what? I'm gonna just if you haven't watched it, if you want to check it out, I won't mess it up for you. But it's good.
Yeah, Manifest is a good one. And then season 2 of Money Heist. So our niece actually told us about Money Heist when we were like, "What's good to watch?" She mentioned it. Sure enough, we got caught up in it, and they actually do a horrible job of the voiceover.
It is horrible. And so now we got captions.
Yes.
We got crazy voiceover, and by the way, captions.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy has had captions on, and so I find captions distracting because I have to read them. But if I'm reading captions, I can't be looking at the people, and so that's a thing. If anybody has worked out how to resolve that, hey, feel free, let me know. Other than go watch your own TV without captions.
Yeah, but the thing about the captions is, right, but there are times when you're like, we need to turn the captions on. Depending on the movie, when you can't understand what the people are saying, or they're talking low, or something like the music is blasting, but the people are talking low, it's helpful. But it drives me crazy when the captions are wrong. So they say one thing and the caption says something completely different.
It's like they don't even try. They just don't try. I mean,
but that's seriously a job. Somebody's job is to type out the captions. So
there must be something's wrong out there in caption land. So if you do captions, they got work for you.
Yeah. So another show that we watched together and watched all of the seasons of it was the 100. I don't even know how we started watching the 100, but we got hooked on that, and that one took some crazy twists and turns. We were even talking like in their language, had their own language on the show.
That was funny. And by the way, Nicolette, nope, haven't seen that show. Nicolette, haven't seen it. But Tiffany says like captions on Thomas. Yes, Thomas.
Yes.
Like, you know, Thomas must be like my spirit animal, right? Whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching TV.
Yeah.
Because maybe I don't want to read the words at that moment.
That's so funny. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Jessica says she watched Greenhouse Academy. They binge watched it, but we watched The Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
That was also an unexpected one.
That was unexpected.
And then there was a show that Sydney had us watching. What was that one where they had that dark wall of evil?
Oh.
Something in Bone.
Shadow
and Bone.
Yep.
Another one.
That's a weird title.
Yeah.
Shadow and Bone. I'm like, why am I watching this? And then couldn't stop watching it. The Loki thing. What's it called?
Yeah. Loki.
I
was going to say,
anyway,
we are a Marvel family. And so love all things Marvel, all things superheroes, supervillains. So Disney Plus came through for us. And so we watched every little follow-up Marvel action movie they came up with. The Falcon. Was it
Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki.
What's the crazy the what I consider actually to be the best one they did with the little town? What's it?
Oh, it was WandaVision. Yeah, WandaVision.
Listen,
if you have Disney Plus, don't go out and get it.
The first episode, I'm just like, Stephen Thompson, what are you doing here? Hey, what's up, man? That's our Rising Banks.
Yes.
But hey, what's up? But yeah, I was like, Juan, this is foolishness. Y'all got me all messed up. I'm not watching this garbage. That was the first episode.
That is so funny.
Stuck around for 2, and next thing you know, I'm like, what, is the new episode out yet? It's a problem.
Oh my goodness, no, that's your spirit animal right there.
Come on, Ron Harvey, Shark Tank. That's right.
Cannot watch Shark Tank.
I don't understand how anybody can't love some Shark Tank. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's one of the ones where,
anyway.
Yeah. You can go ahead. You can watch that. That's all you. Another one, Love It or Listed. Now, I used to love to watch Love It or Listed or anything on HGTV. So again, that was during a time when we weren't necessarily watching everything together. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We have our individual shows, preferences, and then the things that we watch together. And so Nabiha said we need to watch Grand Army on Netflix. She said it's really good. She likes Shadow and Bone, by the way. So.
Right, and to be here.
That's so funny.
See now, like, I feel like another several hours of my life are going to be like
no, it's all good.
Evaporate, but it's all okay. Good. I'll deal with it.
So here's the thing, right? Finding something that you enjoy doing together is one of the fun parts of being married to someone, right? Having your own person, finding the same things that you both love, that can be a little bit more challenging, but I think you're up for the challenge, right? We encourage you to spend some time and have the conversation. Even if it's something that maybe you didn't like before, or you have sworn that you never want to watch this type of series, this type of content, this type of movie. Just be open to maybe making a concession, not just the guys. Like KC said, yeah, maybe the men have to take one for the team more often than not. But I think, ladies, I want to encourage you to maybe do the same. You might be surprised. Like one movie that I really liked, and okay, so you guys probably figured out by now that I'm kind of the action movie, graphic violence person, but 300 was a movie that I thought was a good mix of kind of had a romance element to it, but it was also crazy with violence.
Right. And when it was like, yeah, this is my kind of movie right here. But no, it was good. But see, as if we ever got caught up in the show that I wouldn't like, yeah, that happens all the time, which is why I'm cautious now about even stopping, because I know, you know, it's like if I just go ahead and give it a few minutes, give it a good few honest minutes, a lot of times I'm telling Wendy, she'll want to explain like, hey, this is what it is. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about that. I don't care.
Yep. And then I look in the kitchen and he's like eating some ice cream, watching the show, just like captivated.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's true.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, anyway. So date night at Topgolf for putt-putt. Or putt-putt. I think that's good, right?
Yeah. Matter of fact, we're going to do a date afternoon. We didn't even know. We're going to do a date afternoon here soon.
Yeah, when the weather changes.
Not like as people go back to school here in Georgia and other places, as folks go back to school and go to work and all that stuff. Yeah. Hey, that daytime is a right time for a whole lot of stuff. That's another story.
Yeah.
For another day.
Topgolf actually has an annual event. You remember the first time I took you to Topgolf?
Oh yeah, like the winter, the shorts in the winter thing.
It was boots and bikinis.
Yep. Yeah, that was a blast.
Check that out for a date night. Loved it. Yes. Axe throwing. That is another.
Everybody's throwing axes these days.
Yeah.
I got to see what all the fuss is about.
I think it's source code. I'm not sure. Somebody in the local area can tell us. There's a place that you go to do that here. Oh, it's cheaper on Tuesdays. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, I've been throwing axes since I was about 11 years old. I'm a natural.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's something that we'll have to do. Thanks. These are great. Any other recommendations you guys have, just drop them in there. Yeah. So again, it is sometimes about just taking a chance on being willing to do or watch something that you hadn't watched before. But it shouldn't be something that is a point of contention that drives the division between the two of you.
Apparently like Nicolette and Kevin with Game of Thrones.
Oh no.
Whatever that was about, y'all, it'll be all right. But y'all, fix it. Y'all fix it. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, it was in the comments.
Yeah.
So, and so we got to get ready to get out of here.
Yeah, we do.
So bottom line is, I like what y'all are dropping. Right, we're talking TV, but really, you substitute anything in there. Right,
the range.
Get out and do something.
Yes.
Right. Wait a minute. Range. I assume you mean not the driving range or shooting range or both.
Yes.
So. I say or both, and I put up 4 things. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, but this week, make sure if you all can keep us in prayer. The Weekend to Remember is coming up. Actually, Augusta's Weekend to Remember is happening.
Yep.
And we are leaving town in a few days to go to speak at the Chattanooga Weekend to Remember. And we mentioned before that there is a code that you can use. There it is, right there. It's OGBC. Yeah, what's on the screen? Right. So if you go to register for Weekend to Remember, if you'd like to go, put that code in, and that will give you a half off rate.
Yep.
All right. So feel free to use that.
Yeah. And if you're not going this weekend, I mean, if you go in and you Google Weekend to Remember, it'll bring up all of the dates. It'll take you to the site on Family Life's website, and it'll show you all of the different places and dates that the Weekend to Remember is happening over the next several months. So there's the ones that happen in the fall, and then there's a whole new lineup in the spring. But if maybe you want to go on a short little mini vacay with your spouse and somewhere that you may not have been before, you can make a weekend of it. But yes.
So you can use that code works anywhere all year. However, but I know Thomas and Tiffany Stokes are here. They're working with the Weekend to Remember here in Augusta.
Yes.
Along with who else?
The Carneys.
Horace and Judy Carney,
yes,
of course, right? So that's what's going on in town. But you can use that code anywhere in the country, any time of the year, any year.
Right, but for a limited time, you get half off. So when you use it any other time, you do get a discount. But for a limited time, I think through the next couple of weeks is the half off promotion, which doesn't last long. So if that's something that you want to do, you can purchase it now to go a little bit later. So Thomas and Tiffany she said we're precious. We caught you guys when you were on your local celebrities. You were on with Jenny Montgomery talking about the Weekend to Remember. You guys did an amazing job, and we were so proud to watch you and support you. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
it was good.
So that's it. So hopefully we didn't cause any discord in your homes tonight, and we want to encourage you to have conversations, come together and try to navigate how you can maybe find something that you both enjoy doing or that you both enjoy watching. So if binging makes you cringe, maybe you should give it another try, or at least agree to maybe just 2 episodes.
Or do what some people do, like maybe somebody watches their favorite show and somebody else sits there and does whatever they do, but you're in the same space, coexisting.
Yes. So thanks, guys. It's always fun when you guys join us. We're back. We're praying that we're going to be back in town and in place on Monday. Second Mondays are for singles, but everybody is welcome. And so we'll let you know if we're not going to make it back before Monday. But we're right here every week, Mondays at 7. Share this if you think somebody might benefit or needs something a little bit lighter to chew on this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You can pray with me. Would y'all pray with us?
Yes.
All right. Heavenly Father, we come tonight just thanking you for who you are. Just thank you for blessing us to see this day. We ask that you bless everyone here. That's everyone watching, listening. Be with them in their homes, their families. Help us all to draw closer to you, God. Strengthen their marriages. And we'll be sure to give you all the honor, the glory, and the praise. We love you and we trust you. We pray these and other blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, listen, y'all have a good night. And y'all check out one of my favorite songs of all time. It's Lifetime by Mike and Wendy, featuring JC, my man from Atlanta. So appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good evening.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's your boy JC. I'm in the mood, love, yeah. Lately I've been constantly thinking about you, babe. You drive me crazy, yeah. And girl, I want this. Got me all up in my feelings. Over the feeling, yeah. I knew the first time I laid eyes on you that you would be here forever. I'm not being arrogant, and I still can't take my eyes off you. 'Cause you made me better, so much better. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, baby. I love your kindness, I love your confidence. Ooh, you're the finest. So glad you're mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna be with nobody else. Give me your love, that's all the wealth I need. Baby, you're priceless to me, yeah. To love you for a lifetime, I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, yeah. Promise I'ma be around, I'ma always hold you down. Won't you come and hold me now? Won't you come and hold me now? I just got a new coupe, yeah, I know I got a roof, but I always keep it down with you, yeah. And I know they see, girl, you're my queen, and beauty speaks for itself loud and clear, yeah. So throw it in the air. It's the sweetest sound to follow my ear. And I want the world to know I love you forever. And that's a long time, babe. But I got time for you, baby. I'm in the mood. Ooh, for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you, yeah. For a lifetime, baby. Ooh, yeah. For a lifetime. Oh, for a lifetime. Yeah.